Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to RC Insiders. We're down here in the underground bunker today. I'm going to have a little tutorial on this awesome Redcat Gen 9. Been bashing it pretty hard, guys, and I finally found what might be our first weak spot. But man, is it a beautiful truck or what? The Scout Gen 9, man. Beautiful, but one of the unfortunate things is when you look under it right now, oh, you don't want to see that. So we broke this link underneath. It actually ended up being a link carrier. So this link right here mounts right to that front axle with those two screws that you see in there. And what, you know, we have been really abusing it, so I'm not going to say it's an actual weak link, but this is the first thing we broke on it, and that is actually ended up being just the link carrier. So that's what they call this, is the carrier that mounts that link right there to the front axle. And what it did, we put it through so much, it finally broke that screw right through that carrier. So what you're going to need, it's just, it ain't going to be too bad to replace it, just a little patience and a little time. So you're going to need a 7/32 nut driver or socket or whatever you got. There's a little tiny nut on the other side of that screw, and then you're going to need a 7mm to get that tire. We're going to take these tires off to make everything much easier to get everything in there. And you're going to need a 5/64 torque bit, and that's for these screws and these screws. So first things first is I'll show you how to get this little thing out of here. You're going to need that little 7/32 nut driver. You're going to put that on that side to hold that nut, and then this side you'll use that little Torx bit to get in there to get that one off. Just take your time, guys, and go slow, because you don't want to strip this stuff, because the link carriers are easy to find and they're cheap, but these little nuts and screws, they can be difficult. So get that little thing off of there. That's the little nut that holds that screw in, so you can see how tiny it is. Difficult to work with meaty fingers. Alright, and then you take that screw out of there. It's just forced through that little bushing right there, and that's the screw, and that's the link carrier. So you can see the damage. It's like it finally just pulled itself apart with all that torque, and it pulled right through those screws. So that's the old link carrier, and you can pick these up, guys. I think you can get them for just a few dollars for a bag of these link carriers. They do make metal upgrade ones if you want to, but these are just a couple bucks, so we're going to put this back on here. Alright, old link carrier off, and then we have to get to those two screws right there, because those are going to have to come off first. Get those two screws out of there. That's where the axle or the link is going to mount back up to these screws. So you're actually going to have to get the mount into here first. That way you can get to be able to put the link back in to the carrier. So we got those two screws out. Now we're going to switch over to that 7mm nut driver. We're just going to take these front wheels off to make things much easier. You got the little end cap, unscrews by hand. Put that right there, and then you got the 7mm nut underneath. Get that right out of there. That nut out of there. Put you right there for a minute, and that's how you remove the wheel. Oh, by the way, guys, these tires have just been phenomenal. Like, excellent grip on everything that we do. Alright, let's turn it around real quick and get that other side off of there. Remove that little nut. Put it for safekeeping, guys, because this stuff is... everything is easy to lose when everything's so small. Get that little nut off there. through there, get that tire off. It's a good time to clean all the stuff out of your car, guys. But those tires, man, those are nice. Interco, bead locks, beautiful tires. Alright, now where are we at? Let's get this, our new link carrier, like that. And guys, what you can do is you can just use this other side here for reference if you forget how it goes on. So we're going to look at that. Going to go on, it's going to mount just like so. Now, this is difficult. We're going to switch back over to our 7mm hex bit. And this is going to be the fun part, is trying to start these screws, because they are tiny. I almost want to put it like a little washer in there or something. Maybe it would help with the pull through. But for now, we're just going to mount these back up the way they came. Remember, guys, a little bit of patience. When you got big meaty paws, these little things can be hard to work with, but that one started in there. And remember to go easy, guys, because a lot of this stuff on RC cars likes to strip real easy. So we'll get this other one started in there. Make sure I got that on there the right way. Do I have that on there the right way? How does it go? I think it goes this way. Okay, I see. That's why I say, guys, use that other one there as a reference. So we'll take that one back out. A lot of stuff is trial and error. But the good thing is it's fun, guys. I mean, I love working on this little stuff. I don't know about you guys. I mean, it's aggravating when you're out on the trail and something breaks. But you always know that usually with an RC car, it's going to be fairly cheap and sometimes easy to fix it. Now I think we're on the right track now, guys. So tighten it up and give yourself a little bit of play so you can adjust that for the next screw. Being difficult. So just like I said, reference that other carrier. You can see that the angle's pointing up, and that gives you, if you guys want to play around with the adjustment for ride height and stuff like that, you can use the other holes. We're just going to mount it right back up the way it came, because it lasted a good long while, guys, and like I said, we really beat the crap out of it. So it's been awesome. Alrighty. And remember, just snug. Man, that thing really likes to get stuck in there. And snug up that bottom one. Alright, now we have our new link carrier mounted. Now it is time to try to get this link back in here. Like I said, if you want to play with your ride height and how your suspension reacts, you can take this one out and you can switch it to that other hole to make it adjustable. But for now, we're going to go right back in there. Alright guys, so you can't really see that, but I'm I'm going to turn it back this way. So remember, we're going right back in that top hole. And we got our tiny, tiny, tiny little nut that's going to fit on this screw. Remember that screw? And we're going to push it right back through that bushing there. I'm hoping you can see that. But you will have to remember, you're going to have to mount that carrier first. And then I'm going to try using my left hand. It makes it even more difficult to try to get that nut started on that screw right there. Man, that thing is small, guys. Alright, and then hopefully we can get our small nut driver back over here on that side. And then screw that screw back in. And remember, you just want to get it about as tight as your fingers can hold that nut driver. You don't really want to go get another drive on the other side. Just once it's that tight and you can't hold it with your fingers no more on the nut driver, that's good. Look at that. Torx bit keeps getting stuck in there. So now we're back. Look at that suspension, man. That is just awesome. I love that. Hey, at least now you know how to take tires off, and you can change the mounting links. And you get a... Oh, I just dropped all those. But you get a real good look at that suspension. I mean, that stuff, when we're out on the trail, guys, that stuff is just amazing. So give me... 1 second here. I'm not gonna be able to get that out. Give me 1 second. Let me get those pieces back out. Alright, guys, I got all our pieces and parts back out of there. But anyway, now that I got them in my hand, get you a good look at that suspension. It's fantastic. Like what I was saying, when we're out on the trails, man, there is just barely anything that this truck won't go through. So we're just, now we got our carriers back in. Everything looks good and solid. And I mount those tires back up. No problem. And tell me what you guys been up to, man. It's winter here in Michigan, and I'm telling you, it is tough to get out now. The cold is here, the snow's here, but it's nice and cozy down here in the underground bunker. Don't forget to tighten those up. Remember, just you know, snug, right? We don't want to strip anything or break anything. It's not like we need a impact wrench or anything to put these things back together. They're 110 scale cars, right, guys? All right, then all you gotta do is get your other tire back on. Make sure you everything's nice and tight inside there. You don't see any other broken parts, because when you get these tires off, it's a real good time to check all your components. So other than that link carrier, guys, nothing else is broken. This thing has just been an absolutely phenomenal trail truck. I'm gonna actually go ahead and say that it is my favorite trail truck, hands down. Remember, just nice and snug. If you guys want to check out our full review of this Gen 9, obviously I'll put a link to that in the down in the comments, and in the what's that thing called under the video description. All right, I'll put that link to this thing if you want to check it out. You know, check out that first review we did with it. We put it through a good beating in that video, and now that we got that link carrier fixed, everything's back to normal underneath, and we're gonna head out on the trails. All right, guys, let me know how everybody's doing. Hope you're enjoying this winter, and until next time, happy bashing.